another review about Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, episode 49. And a lot happened this episode, and we're going to take it step by step, and we're not going to hit every single thing that happened, though everything that did happen was kind of important. But for the sake of the length of this video, I'm just going to briefly touch on what I thought was important in the show. So first, of course, what was going to pop up first was how would Mika react to Orga's death? And honestly, I think he reacted to it very well. I was expecting him to go berserk or some kind of thing out of his character, but then again, that makes no sense because that'd be out of his character, so why would he go berserk? Well, he's going berserk sometimes, but that's when, harm would come to his friends. Now that the harm's already been done, Orga's been killed, for him saying that we should do what he says, his orders to the end, is a very Mika thing to do. So kudos to him for keeping it together and rallying everybody together and to commence this final route they're going to take. This whole episode was really based around Mika, thus the episode name. Let's talk a little bit about him. I'm not one to really critique shows about how they're written or how was the show executed in terms of plot and story. I take things as they are, and I take the good things away from shows. So I'm going to do that with this. A lot of people probably won't like the way Mika story was written in this show. He could have been a little more whatever to be more of an impact, but I think the way he turned out, it was kind of sad in the sense that he's always kind of been, this guy that's been to himself and didn't really show, much of his personality or his feelings to people. The only kind of romantic thing he had was with a little girl, and that was, for marriage or whatever, but he never really showed any kind of emotion until the very end of the show. And even to his dying breath, he barely broke a tear, which is such a, BA thing for him to do. But yeah, so you can see how everybody around him was trying to, open him up and trying to befriend him, and they loved him and they wanted him to explain, why are you acting like this? He really doesn't care. Even to his dying breath, all he really wanted was to rule Gallahorn and to show the world what true power was. That fight between Bale and Ayn was marvelous. Sunrise, kudos again for that fight, because that fight was awesome. And it's really symbolic that Bale lost that fight, and especially to Ayn, which Ayn means one in German, if you didn't know that. It's symbolic that he lost because it just shows how Gallahorn is no longer what he used to be. It's this new thing, and it's just times have changed. But for Mika, what it was before was true power, and that's what he was trying to show everybody in Gallahorn, that he was the truth per se. The way he ended and the way he died was really sad. He even told the people that were around him that, hey, I'm gonna go and fight and kill Rustle, and I'm gonna go and do it myself. And they were like, okay, whatever, dude, you do what you gotta do. But it was kind of sad how it turned out because no one really had his back towards the very end, except for the guy that's always been lingering and gave him a shuttle up to Mars. But it's really sad because he ended up trying to fight this whole fleet by himself. And actually he was winning, if you would think, if he actually ended up beating Ayn, he probably would have destroyed everyone else because, that girl that almost died, she wouldn't have stopped Bale or McGillis. So he honestly probably could have defeated the fleet by himself. And that kind of goes down to, let's take it back a notch and go back to, they're on Mars right now, Tekadon is, and they were fighting a losing battle against Gallahorn. Also, rest in peace to Hush. I really liked Hush's character because he looked up to Mika, as a lot of people did, but he really wanted to be like Mika, and he really wanted to be strong like Mika. For him to die the way he did, his lack of experience was kind of like, it was kind of sad because he was literally having a technical error, before he died, and Mika came to him and they had a little word, and then Mika went on, but rest in peace to Hush. I think he was a really cool character, and they all look like they're going to die, to be honest. They're all surrounded, they're trying to buy time, they're trying to be grinded out, as they say, as long as possible. And I would personally like if they were to just die in that battle against a bunch of random Gallahorn people. It just wouldn't be right, because with Tekadon, but then it's like, they're a bunch of random people too. We've just been following Tekadon and their members, but for them to die just by being overwhelmed with power and ferocity, it's just like, it's kind of cringing, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. We gotta accept it. I do believe the show is coming to an end, and the 50th episode is only right that it does, because I think the last season ended at 25. It's going to be really interesting to see, what happens, and it's also important to make note that in their previews, it wasn't really anything that relevant that showed up in terms of what could possibly happen next episode. Like, they didn't really show the battle or Rusto destroying Tekagon or whatever. It just showed the two girls, thinking about Mika and that whole three-piece. But it really didn't show anything in terms of giving anything away. There was no spoilers in the last trailer, so that's kind of something to keep an eye on. You would think when the next episode comes out, it's probably gonna be a bunch of sadness and dismay with everything going on. Hopefully, some people make it out alive, and we can only hope for the best. But overall, this show's coming to an end. I will be doing a review on it at some point shortly after the 50th episode, if that's truly where it's going to be over. But all in all, I definitely enjoyed the ride of the show, and my thoughts before the finale is, in terms of how it made me feel and what I've learned, it definitely showed us that when you don't have something to really call your own, or you don't really know where you belong, you definitely have a place. When you do find a place, and when you do find a place, to not take it for granted and to do it all the way. Be appreciative and grateful where you are and all that jazz. But that's kind of what I want to end the video for now. I kind of got cut off in the middle of it because somebody called me. So sorry if my thoughts are a little chopped up, but I made a video on episode 48, which you can check out somewhere around here. I'm not sure how YouTube totally works yet, but I also want to put up a video that I already posted about how anime has changed and what it is today, and it stems directly from my thoughts on the show, so you guys should definitely check it out and tell me what you think. I definitely want to try to upload like two videos a week, so that'd be cool, and I definitely like to get more subscribers and talk to you guys and tell you guys how I think, and I like to have a conversation. So thank you guys so much if you guys are watching this, whoever's watching this, and I'll see you later. Peace.